Guys, imagine a situation whereby you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to buy food, you don't have to pay for utilities, electricity, gas, etc. You don't have to worry about commuting to work every single day. And most importantly, you can pocket up to £6,000 after working for just 12 weeks. That is a live-in carer's job, and I'm going to be talking about the live-in carer job today in this video. First of all, thank you so much for all the birthday messages that you sent me. I really felt the love, guys, and I really appreciate it. Did I spend doing on my birthday? I'm yet to celebrate it over the weekend. I actually spent it looking for jobs online, and then my eye landed on a job which says earn up to £6,000 in just 12 weeks. I was like, OMG, that's a lot of money. So when I looked at the job, it's actually for live-in carers here in UK. So I phoned this company to find out more if they are actually recruiting from overseas. And you know what, guys? They are actually currently recruiting from overseas, and they've got many vacancies. I'm going to be talking about this company today, so grab a pen and paper, and I'll also leave in the links some of the companies which I spoke to who are actually recruiting live-in carers. So before we get into it, my name is Pauline Popomoyo, and in this channel we keep things real. If you're already excited about today's video, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe. For now, let's get into it.
Get out of here. Get out of my house.
No, stop it.
No.
Stop.
No. No. You know what no means? I guess you don't. You put it on your head.
Give me that knife. Give me the knife.
I'll give it to you in the back. I'll give it to you.
A home care worker once shared challenges she faced in her job. Before settling for a carer job, you need to understand the conditions of your clients, get thorough training so that you know how to deal with challenging behaviors. Because guys, it's not easy. You really need to prepare yourself for this. Live-in carer jobs come in with a whole lot of challenges, guys. Before we get into the details of this job, I spoke to this woman who's part of the recruitment team. I asked her what is the most important thing that an individual has to have. And then she said to me the most important things are, one, you should have some experience. She didn't specify whether 6 months or 10 months or whatever, but you have to have some experience because she says they're going to be a specialized interview to find out more about the experience that you have, which I'm going to talk about in this video anyway. And second, she said it's important that you have a license because as a live-in carer, you are going to be taking your client to various places. You might be taking them for shopping, taking them for movies, taking them to recreational centers. There are so many places where you're going to be taking your client, and she specifically said to me, you know the motorway. And when she said, you know the motorway, I just remembered the day I went to collect my car here in UK. Without any practice, I just drove straight into the motorway. And guys, I don't want to lie to you, it is not easy to drive in the UK roads if you are not used to it. Because the moment I was in the motorway, I was using Google, but you do not understand some of the terms are used by Google. And maybe you are in 5 lanes and they say, keep left at the fork. You don't even know what the fork is. You know what I'm saying? So it's really important that you up or you practice your driving because it's really not easy to to drive in the motorway, and you'll be having these huge cars driving past you at whatever speed, and it's not easy to drive at the motorway. And from people who have come in to work here as live-in carers, that has been the #1 complaint, that it is not easy to drive, and it is easy to be involved in an accident and things like that. So you really have to up your driving skills. Those are the 2 most important things that this lady mentioned. So now I'm going to be taking you through some of the requirements or the steps which are going to take for you to be employed with this company. And I still haven't mentioned the name of the company. The name of the company is Inner Care Group. All right, I'm going to start by talking about the requirements for this job. The first requirement is that you are expected to be flexible. So you are going to be working between England and Wales. Personally, I prefer Wales, but they'll place you either in England or in Wales, and they expect you at a given time to work between 2 to 12 weeks, which means you are going to be staying at the client's place for 2 weeks in a row or for 12 weeks in a row. You obviously be getting breaks in between, but you are basically working 12 weeks in a row. A full and valid driving license is advantageous, meaning that you have to have a full driving license. If you want me to do a video on how you can acquire a UK license or how you can change your international license to a UK license, you comment down below and I will surely do that video for you guys. Because when you're coming here to UK, depending on the country that you come from, it's either you can exchange your license for a UK license, or can use your license for just a year and then acquire a UK license through driving lessons and all that. Or there are so many avenues that you can take. So you comment down below if you want me to make a video on that. I will definitely make a video on that. So this is what attracted me to the job before I even called them, and I'll read it to you. It says, live-in carer benefits, guaranteed work scheme. You are guaranteed to earn 6,000 before tax in the first 12 weeks of employment. And then a friendly, supportive head office team available 24/7. Competitive pay from 500 per week up to 700 per week, and the rest of the benefits mentioned there. So I was really attracted to this 6,000 before tax because I love money. If you love money, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Because of the love of money, guys, I was attracted to this job. That's why I decided to call. If you are going to be earning up to 700 per week, which means if you work for 12 weeks, you obviously make more than 6,000 pounds. And why am I saying you are able to pocket that 6,000 pounds? All of it is because when you initially come to work here in UK, especially if you start after the new tax year, whatever money you earn, as long as you haven't reached the 12,500 or 12,700 threshold, which is tax-free, you are not going to be taxed that money, which means you're going to take all of it home. Even if they remove pension and whatever little things, is very little money. So if you're making 700 per week times 12 weeks, you are highly likely to pocket even more than 6,000 pounds within the first 12 weeks of working. Imagine what you can do with that money. That is you covered for the travel expenses for your family. You pay their visas, pay their flight tickets, you look for your own accommodation, pay rent and deposit and everything. Wouldn't you want a job like that, guys? Definitely I would want a job like that, because I definitely know that in a short space of time my family would have joined me. But since this is a live-in carer job, which means once you bring your family, you have to maybe negotiate with the company, because they say you're living in for 2 weeks to 12 weeks. Obviously, if you have your family, you can't live in with the carer for 12 weeks, even if you get some days off. You might consider maybe 2 weeks in, 1 week out, 2 weeks in, 1 week out, whichever way is going to suit you and your family. So after reading this information, guys, that's when I took my phone and phoned. So obviously I asked this lady if they're offering a certificate of sponsorship, and she said to me, this is something which is in the pipeline. They've already applied for the certificate of sponsorship and they are awaiting the certificate of sponsorship. But in the meantime, they have a session written overseas applicants, And if you are someone who is overseas and you're interested in this job, you can actually send in your application right now. And they actually say they've been shortlisting candidates for interviews and all that. And they've actually interviewed some candidates because they expect to get their certificate of sponsorship anytime soon. In their website, it's clearly written that if you require a certificate of sponsorship in order to apply for a visa to work in the UK, we would love to hear from you. We are in the process of obtaining a sponsorship license to employ carers from overseas. So if you are interested in this opportunity, then please apply below. So this means even if they haven't secured a certificate of sponsorship, they know that they are going to get it, and you can apply now. I'm going to leave the link in the description box so that you apply now. If you meet the eligibility criteria. If you don't know what the eligibility criteria is, I'll leave links to my other videos which talk of the eligibility criteria. Number 1, interview. The recruitment team will organize an interview over video chat to discuss the live-in role in depth, as well as answer any questions you might have. So this lady actually said before they even call you for an official interview, they are going to phone you via phone, whether it's via Zoom or it's via WhatsApp or whatever means they use, so that they assess the kind of person you are. And they said at this point in time, they're also going to assess your experience. So they're going to find out how much experience do you have. Do they really think that you are the right candidate for this job? And remember guys, for you to be actually selected for this part of the interview, your CV has to stand out. So I've already done a video which indicates to you the reasons why you are not being hired. If you haven't watched that video, go and watch that video so that you employ the measures that I put in there, such that when you apply, you stand a better chance to be picked for this initial interview. If your CV is not impressive, they're obviously not going to pick you. So when they're having this face-to-face interaction, guys, you also have to stand out. They have to see that you are a confident person like me. You know what I'm saying? So they have to see that you are confident, you know what you're talking about, you know what you want, you know what a live-in carer is. So this particular home, they specialize in people with, for example, dementia, spinal injury, and so forth and so on. So what you have to do before you even apply for that job, you go and find out what is dementia, what is spinal injury, how do I manage a client with spinal injury, how do I manage a client with learning disabilities, and things like that, such that when they're asking you about all those things, you seem to be knowledgeable. So you really have to read and know those conditions and know how to manage them. And remember to be confident in yourself, and remember to smile. Don't be that kind of person they're asking you a question. So what is your name? My name is Susan. Okay, so do you have any care experience? I have 3 years care experience. No guys, you need to be lively. You need to show your confidence. You need to smile. You need to show that you know what you're talking about. You need to show that you are sure of yourself, so that you proceed to the next stage. If you are just morose, my name is Susan, they will not take you. Say, my name is Susan. I don't know how you're going to do it, but you have to, you know, show that confidence and entice them to want to know more about you, not just to be morose. I'm sure you get what I'm saying, guys. So from there, if they like you or if they're impressed by what you have said to them, they're going to do some background checks, which is very important. And they're going to do a thorough background check because you are going to be dealing with vulnerable adults, and they need someone with a very clean, very clean record. And this particular organization requires you to have 3 references, and they're going to phone these references or email these references and require thorough detailed information about you. So this brings me to another important point. Remember what I said about some people referencing you in my other video? This is what I said. So you have to be very careful on whom you choose to reference you, because some people, even if you are good, they are always bitches. It is very important, guys, that with this particular organization, if you are asking someone to reference you, You speak to that person and make sure that they are going to reference you, and make sure that you tell them that this is what is going to happen, because there's someone who didn't get a job because she got 2 excellent references, but the 3rd reference did not even bother sending in the application, of which I've had such an experience before, where I was applying for agency work. You ask someone, oh, can I have your email so that I use you as my reference because I'm starting agency. Oh, so what is this agency? It's called whatever, and they're actually offering £50 an hour. The reference never went, guys. The reference never went. Then when I went to find out, but you said you're going to reference me, what happened? Oh, I have not checked my emails for the whole week, so I must have missed the email. You get it, guys? So you have to be very careful on whom you choose to reference you. I'll always emphasize this. It's not everyone who smiles at you, who likes you, based on experience, because I've had nasty experiences before. Some people smile at you here and they drive 50, 60, 100 knives in your back. You understand? So be careful whom you choose to reference you. So after the background checks and everything, there's an invitation. Once your background checks have been completed, your recruitment advisor will discuss with you potential training dates in the UK. You will then need to apply for your visas if you haven't already, and book flights to arrive in the UK before training commences. So I will not lie to you and say they're going to be paying for your flights, they're going to be paying for your whatever. This is for you to find out, because this particular information I did not find out, because some of these recruitment agencies, they offer you a certificate of sponsorship and then they'll expect you to pay for your own flight tickets and things like that. So it's up to you to phone the recruitment agency and find out for yourself before I lie to you, because I don't want to lie to you. So that is the next stage anyway. They're going to tell you of the training that's here in UK. Even if you don't have the essential experience, or you don't have the 6 months experience or 1 year experience, but you have shown the desire to work with the adults and they're impressed with the way you presented yourself, you can actually come for these trainings. And before you even go and work with any client, you are going to be thoroughly trained so that you know what to expect in the job. Training and assessment week, which means it's not only just training. They are going to train you and they're also going to be assessed, which means you have to pass this assessment. You understand, guys? It's not just training and assessment. You will be taught the care certificate and other mandatory training over a 5-day period, giving you everything you will need to start your career with us. Your trainer will assess your performance and behavior throughout, all of which you will need to pass in order to be employed with us. Your behavior is going to be assessed and your performance is going to be assessed. These are very important things, guys, because there are situations whereby nurses have come, for example, in the Republic of Ireland. I know nurses who have come to work in the Republic of Ireland, and during the adaptation course, they failed to pass on the behaviors because they had a stinking attitude. If I put it in simpler terms, they had a stinking attitude, and because of that stinking attitude, after flying from Zimbabwe or from Egypt or from India or from South Africa, you come here and they say, we are sorry, you have a stinking attitude, we are not going to be able to employ you. So it is very, very important that you behave yourself. Behave yourself. Don't pretend, behave yourself. So behavior, there are non-verbal cues. I've seen instances, you remember I'm a teacher and I've taught student nurses. I've seen instances where you are telling a student nurse that you are expected to be cleaning the poo. Me, cleaning the poo. See the expression on my face? I've not said anything, but it leaves a lot to be desired, isn't it? You have to be very careful on how you're behaving, because you are under a microscope. Remember, you're going to be working with the vulnerable adults and you need to be tops. Understand? And then this is the area which worries me the most, the matching part. We match our carers and clients together depending on experience, hobbies, interests, and personalities. After the training and assessment week, you will need to wait to be matched with a suitable client using personal profiles that you have provided. You will have the opportunity to speak to your potential client over the phone so they can make an informed decision about you. This is a very tough one, guys, because remember, some of us are black. I'm also black, and at times being black is a disadvantage. The reason I don't like a day shift, I've only been doing night shift for the past 4 years, and I found that when you're working day shift, it's very difficult to deal with the relatives. Why is it very difficult? It's because sometimes you feel you are undermined as a nurse. They will come in there in the unit, and they are fully aware that you are the nurse in charge of that unit, but because of your skin color, they would go to a carer who's of a different skin color from you, who is white, and they go and ask for information from her. You understand? So this is the reality on the ground, guys. I've had instances whereby relatives actually say they want to speak to someone who is local, meaning they want someone who is, Ireland. They want someone who is Irish. As the nurse in charge of a unit, they might not even give you that recognition, and they choose to go to speak to a carer who's Irish like them, who is supposedly going to understand them better. And the beauty of it is that even if they go and ask the carer will still come back to you as the nurse in charge of the unit to say, oh, they asked this, then would say, they can come and discuss with me since I'm the one who's in charge, whatever. But the situation, guys, this is the situation on the ground. Sometimes it will be very difficult for you to be placed with the client, because some clients will say it outright that, I'm sorry, I don't want someone who's black. Well, maybe I can go for a Filipino, because somehow we are graded. It's like black is at the bottom, it's always at the bottom there. Then there's brown, then there is light brown, then there is whitish, then there is white. You know, a situation like that. So when it comes to placement there, that is the only problem that I worry about, because sometimes you have this accent of mine, of which I have not changed my accent ever since I came here to UK. I still speak using my Zimbabwean accent, because this is who I am and I accept who I am. I'm not going to change my accent because I'm now in UK. This is who I am. So at times they might put you to have conversation with the client, and the client says no, they don't want you. Obviously the organization will not come to you and tell that, oh, the client says they don't want you because you're black. But sometimes you can expect that. You can actually expect some delays in you actually beginning to work with clients, because clients are choosing not to work with you. This is the situation on the ground, guys. It happens, and I'm going to be sharing with you in my next video some of the challenges that are faced here in UK, or some of the challenges that you are likely going to face here in UK. You as an individual, your husband, your children, your family members, and all that. I'm going to be sharing that with you in my next video. So if you speak to your client over the phone and your client is happy enough to work with you, you are now going to go for placement. And under placement, they say that our care team will notify you when you have been accepted by a client, and will give you all the necessary information about where to go, as well as when you will start. So when you start working, INA says 24 hours. On arrival at a new placement, you will receive a full handover from the previous carer, so you can get to know the client's preferences. The support from head office means you also have access to a member of the care team, as well as 24/7 emergency support. So this is very important, guys. When you go for placement, you are going to be given a full detailed handover about the client, what is it that they want, their preferences and things like that. And this is an opportunity for you to ask all the information that you need to gather about the client so that you make a working easier for you. And the beauty of it is that they've got a 24/7 support, meaning that even if you face some challenges during the caring of the client, you can always pick up the phone and ask for assistance. If I was to choose to work as a live-in carer or a healthcare assistant in a hospital or care home, I would choose to work as a live-in carer because the relationship that you have with the clients, you more like become friends, become companions, you get to know the client on a personal basis. But if you're in a hospital, the clients are ever changing, you really don't get to know them, and the workload is too much because you are dealing with 30 clients, you are dealing with 40 clients if you're in a care home, and you have to be providing personal care for all these 40 clients. Whereas if you're a live-in carer, you're just providing personal care for just that one person. The washing, the bathing, the grooming and everything is just for one person, and you're cooking for one person, ironing for one person, cleaning for one person, feeding just one person. So which means the workload is not as much as the workload that you would have if you're working in a care home and if you're working in a hospital setup. And the pay is also good as well. If you're a live-in carer, you get paid well. That's why we're saying you're able to take up to 6,000 within the first 12 weeks of working as a live-in carer. So this is what I wanted to share with you guys. And the other organizations which are currently recruiting live-in carers, we've got ENVIVA Care, we've got Avanta Healthcare. For Avanta Healthcare, I shared the details in my other video, and I'll leave the link so that you send your applications there. The link is there in my video, and the email address where you can actually send your applications is there in that other video. So I'll leave the link in the description box. And for ENVIVA Care and other care groups which are currently recruiting, I'll leave the links in the description box. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and may you kindly like, subscribe and share, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.